So what paranormal activity has happened in your house?
Well, a lot of things. We've had people that have been grabbed. We have people that have been touched. We've had people dragged up out of bed. We've had the objects over right here on my shoulder. These guys get knocked over a lot. We have a lot of stuff that happens here. I mean, you've been here. You've had experiences here with the voices and the different energies.
Just like a stab wound? Not like a stab, but like dude, it's weird. It's magnetizing my.
Can you tell us what happened with one of the construction workers that was portrayed by Lance Hendrickson?
Yeah, in my movie you're talking about. Well, one of my contract laborers had an experience here about 13 and a half years ago where he was on the third level working. And he heard, it was about 6 o'clock, middle of July, it was about 85 degrees, and he says, I hear voices and footsteps coming from the top floor. So I come running upstairs to see who it is. So he comes up here, he looks around, he says, there's nobody here. He goes out onto the driveway and takes a look, and there's nothing there. So he goes back downstairs and he starts working, and about 5 minutes later he hears the voices and the footsteps again from the top floor. So he runs upstairs, takes a look, and sees nothing. He says, that's it, I'm out of here. Goes back downstairs, and he's packing his bags, and all of a sudden he says he starts hearing footsteps. And they're coming down the staircase, and they're getting louder and louder. So he gets himself into the guest bedroom, at the time just the room, and he has his hammer, and he says they're getting so loud, he says it's almost like they just got to the bottom of the landing. So he comes out and he looks, and he says there's nothing there. And then all of a sudden, he says this ice-cold breeze comes across the back of his neck, and he says the hairs on the back of his neck stood straight up, and he says, adios míos, llame boy, and took off. Translate from Spanish, that means, oh my God, I'm leaving. And he didn't come back for 6 weeks.
How did you secure such an iconic actor to be in your movie?
Well, Lance is a friend, and I told him about the experiences I was having in the house before I, wrote the movie. And I wrote the movie, and I said, Lance, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing this part. And he goes, oh, well, I'll try to do my best, Lance. He goes, well, I'll take a look at it. Let me see it, and I'll think about it. Yeah, something, I think I'll do it, as a matter of fact. And the next thing I know is Lance was here for 20 minutes. He shot his scene out, and he spent the next 3.5 hours here with my on-set psychics. So he got a real kick out of the psychics, and he thought the house was great, and just decided, said, this place is cool. I can hang here and talk to these people. They're very down to earth, and that's basically what the whole gig with Lance was.
Can you tell us a little bit about your dirt room on the 3rd floor?
The earthen wall room. Well, a lot of psychics have been here, including Lisa Williams and James Von Prague and Jackie Barrett, and they've all said, independently of the others, that there's an energy there. They said a Native American on horseback, and apparently he was riding on what's now the driveway, and his horse got spooked. The horse reared up, the horse lost its footing, tumbled down the hill with him on it, and basically crushed him underneath the horse, and the horse died as well. And right with the earthen wall room is where they've got his body, and supposedly in the earth. Let's come back from that for the rest of the show.
Is it just coincidental that as Nick begins to feel this negative effect, these two strobing light bulbs disappear right into his head?
Yeah, look at that, right into his head.
Go get him, man.
I'm coming down.
Yeah, that was the conclusion of the show. As a matter of fact, I want to be able to introduce one of the few people that's actually here from the show, and that's London Moore. London, introduce yourself. This is London. London is the girl that played, this is London who played Sharon Tate. This is the lovely Sharon in the show tonight. So London,
Hi.
London literally got here 5 minutes ago, so she literally saw that much of herself.
Yeah.
Tell us, what was your experience like when you were working with the crew on that reenactment?
It was a great experience. I've never done anything like this before. I've never even seen Ghost Adventures, but I love horror things, horror films, and I'm really into like the ghost stuff, so it was a lot of fun to be a part of that. And it's a totally new experience for me, so I really enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure working with you that night. It was
such a
amazing.
pleasure,
I remember the night that she was here shooting this. I kept feeling when I was watching her shoot this, and she was pregnant with this pregnancy thing, sorry, and blood on this white nightgown. I kept hearing like, this is not good. This is really not good. And I felt like when they come to shoot the show tomorrow night, we're going to have some heavy action on them. And I think that's exactly what happened. And I told you as well when they came back, you said, how was it with Zach? I said, no. I said, it's going to be vicious tomorrow night. And it was. They got waylaid with a lot of energy. And what's interesting from this show is they didn't show half the stuff that I remember seeing them go through, including the dog barking. There was a dog that I said, the guy says, I got a sound of this. And he said, listen to this. And I was like, rough. And it was not anybody that was in the house.
As long as he resides here with energy of this magnitude,
There you are!
concerned for his safety and well-being.
The grounds here, that might bring out some paranormal activity?
I think it's the way the house was designed with the with the 4 steel I-beams that support the 2nd and 3rd level, more than anything else. And the wrought iron staircase as well amplifies the electromagnetic anomaly that's here. So I think that's what they were referring to in the show, that they didn't get a lot of, a lot of exposure about it. Was Barry trying to say the house is a containment vessel for the energy, so the spirits actually manifest and can do so in this environment.
So how did you get a part on Ghost Adventures?
It's actually kind of a funny story. It was supposed to be another actress, right, David?
Yeah,
Another
matter of fact,
actress.
That's
And
right. Yeah, that's right. They had another actress, and they said, "Do you know anybody?" It's like, I said, "I don't know anybody that can do it right now. It's a little short notice." And then all of a sudden, they landed in London. They said, "We've got one. We've got one." It's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm so happy for you guys' sake that you found a Sharon Tate.
Yeah, it was my friend's boyfriend who was working on this, Joe.
Joe.
And yeah, and then they just called me randomly one day, and it was like hours before I had to come in, and I was like, sure. I wasn't doing anything, so it worked out amazingly, and I had a blast. It was so fun, and it was a good experience for sure. So
I know it was. I was fascinated when they were doing it. I was like, they're really going to do this in my house. I said, I wonder how the spirits are going to take to this actress playing Sharon. Are they going to take offense to it? And it was weird because I thought, if anything, that they would have taken out their, if they would have been angry or upset, I thought they would have taken out their anger on you. But obviously, I think it was quite the opposite. I think, I can't speak for you, but what was your experience?
I felt pretty peaceful, actually. I felt very peaceful throughout the whole thing. But there was also like a powerful presence to it too. You know what I mean? So it wasn't an uneasy feeling, but very peaceful, amazingly. So I thought so personally. But
well, personally, that's what counts. I think that's interesting. I think I remember when you came in and I gave you the briefing of what to expect and how to behave as far as the energy was concerned. I said, just be very, very respectful and honoring. Right. And I tried to fill you in on the details and stuff, and you're like, oh. And I mean, a lot of actresses, I think, would have embellished a lot of it, but you were just very much, no, I understand. It's like, and you were very, very, very respectful and very, very honorable of their memory. And I think that had a lot to do with your performance and the fact that the spirits were really like, in a sense, gave you their blessing, and we're really happy you were doing that part for them, and they appreciate it. It's unfortunate that I don't, well, we won't discuss that, I'm sorry. We'll edit that out.
Is there anything that the director did to invoke something in you for the shooting?
Honestly, a lot of it was just, like, in the couple hours I had, before I had to, like, leave and come here, I just researched as much as possible, before I left, like, looked up pictures and what she looked like and kind of, like, how she acted and her demeanor and watched some videos, and it was a really quick, research, but just from watching those little clips, and just seeing kind of who she is and reading about her, I got a lot from just that, so I pretty much just got here, and the director just gave me, little things, like little movements and stuff to do, but a lot of it was just reading up on her and seeing her history, and I think she was a very respected, woman, and it's too bad, what happened to her. It really is. So, her and her friends. So, yeah.
So, what do both of you think of provoking or ghost baiting?
Ladies first.
No, go for it. All you.
Personally, I don't. I don't believe in anything like that. I think it's as disrespectful when you do it to somebody who's alive. as you would do it to somebody that's dead. It makes no difference. The personality and the character and that energy is still one of somebody that's should be respected in all due respect. I don't think it's something that you do, and if you do it, I think you do it at your own risk and peril.
Yeah, I know my family and I feel the exact same way. What about you?
I concur. Pretty much the same thing. I think, we just need to, like, respect them and their world, I guess, you know what I mean? And, like, yeah, you pretty much said it all. Just, it's a total respect thing, and, like, especially if they were good people that died good people, you know what I mean? And they were respected when they died, so we should continue to respect them in the world, whatever world they're in now, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think it's the same exactly. I concur as well.
So if you guys could investigate anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I really don't know.
I don't know. One place that I would like to go to is Lilydale in upstate New York, which I've heard is a very, very interesting. It's a spiritualist community, and
Is it?
I think it's only open 4 months of the year, but it's supposed to be wildly interesting, and I think that would be fascinating, historically speaking.
Yeah. I really don't know. The American Horror Story Murder House? I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
So do either of you have any websites, upcoming interviews, or events you would like to mention?
I don't personally. No, just my IMDb, but that's it. So.
I'm going to be going to ConCon tomorrow at ConCon 11 with the Constantinos in Santa Paula, California, as a matter of fact. Other than that, just houseattheendofthedrive.com, and of course the YouTube channel, youtube.com/David Oman, where we have the clips from different investigations here. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you both for coming on my show.
Oh, it was my pleasure, by all means.
My pleasure as well. Thank you very much for having us.
And I'm Sophia Temporelli, reporting for LiveParanormal.com.